First and foremost, Black Lives Matter. Right now, we need to listen to those who have been targeted by this system and amplify their struggle and their voices. We have listed resources and donation links in the description below. Thank you. Cryptozoology is, by its very nature, elusive. Thus, we cannot say that we are exactly bringing you the facts, but we will do our best to help you see these mythical legends as we do. So sit back, relax, and wait. What's that behind you? Never mind. Enjoy the show. Hello and welcome back to Cryptids on Cryptids. This is our 10th episode. Our 10th! Can you believe it?
No, I really can't. We've been doing this for like at least 10 weeks.
That's so crazy.
That's over a month.
Yeah. I'm Marty.
I'm Sid.
And what are we talking about this week, Sydney?
This week we got a bit of a weird one. So this was actually one that you requested that I look up. Most of the time I just kind of go out on the internet and I'm like, hey, we got any weird shit? And the internet gives me it. But this was one that you specifically asked me to go find. It's the Dark Watchers.
Yeah, I saw like a little blurb on them and I was like, wait, these are so cool and they're so creepy and I'm so, like 100% in on this.
Yeah.
I did no research into it. I was just like, Sid, this is cool and I want to learn about it, but I don't want to do any research. And that's what we're here to do for you, is inform you without you having to go out and do anything.
That's what I'm here for. That is my job.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for. So I did some research on the Dark Watchers, and I had to delve through the internet and end up in a couple of questionable websites. It's fine.
Delving through the internet is... You usually find some questionable websites, especially when, like, looking for something as creepy as the Dark Watchers.
Well, like, anytime I have to look through something on the internet, it is a bit like panning for gold with a sandblaster. It's not gonna go real great, but you may find something. But whatever you find, it's gonna be pretty big. So, the Dark Watchers, which were known by early Spanish settlers as Los Vigilantes Oscuros, is a name given to these, like, shadow people? Okay, here's what they are. They're at least 7 to 15 feet tall, just like silhouettes of people just in the distance on this mountain range. It's the Santa Lucia mountain range, yeah?
Yeah.
So they're these featureless dark silhouettes they wear like hats and they got walking sticks, so they're like nothing if not fashionable. But
nothing if not fashionable, for sure. I mean, honestly, like, they're out there and they've got a cool hat and they've got a cool stick and they're doing it to them. I mean, like, they're not really doing anything but watching. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. Right? I don't know. What do they do, Sid?
Ordinarily, let's get into that. This would be the point in time where I'm like, and people have died, because that's pretty much what I've done for like all these previous episodes, is we've been covering big scary dudes with teeth and claws and like bodies that can just crunch things. I'm looking at you, Tizaruk.
Yeah. Tizaruk, yeah, last week for sure, Tizaruk.
Bodies that just crunch things. These guys don't do that. They just stare.
They're so big, though.
They just stare in the distance with their cold and feeling eyes that you can't see because they're not really outlined.
I thought that was a feature of them, though, is that they had, like, glowing eyes.
Some sightings say that they do have glowing eyes, and that if you look at them and you start approaching them, the eyes start to glow, but if you don't approach them, the eyes don't glow.
Oh, okay. Cool. So maybe some Enderman-esque vibes from these boys, huh?
They don't like the eye contact, man. If you leave them alone.
Not a fan.
Yeah. Because, like, they will just disappear if you approach them. So there aren't really any, like... The sightings people have of them are, like, standing from a distance and just kind of looking over the mountain range and seeing them out there. But if you get any closer, they kind of just disappear. So
these these boys would be real hard for me to fight.
Yeah.
Even if
I
I
also,
like, even if I wanted to.
even if you wanted to, I don't think you could get close enough because like the key feature of these fellas is if you even walk towards them, the eyes just kind of like, and then they just disappear. Uh, which is relatable. First off, if anybody approaches me at a social gathering, I'd really like to make my eyes glow and then just disappear.
I mean, yeah, who wouldn't like that little party trick, parlor trick?
I
Maybe
mean,
these are really cool magicians, really cool tall magicians.
I was actually about to talk to you about that on how they do give off big magician vibes with the hats and the walking sticks because like
Yeah,
magicians have hats and sticks, you know.
magicians do have hats and sticks. That's a key feature of magicians. How you know it's magic.
That's how you know it's magic, baby. Uh, I do. However, these guys are 7 to 15 feet tall, so it's a little bigger than your average magician. You know.
Yeah, your average magician's like 5'4". They don't got a lot going on. I looked
I
that up.
mean,
That's a real stat.
I'd say your average magician is like 5'8" with the hat, though. It depends on whether or
Yeah,
not you're
big
like,
hats.
yeah,
Real big hats.
because they gotta put rabbits in there, you know?
I think that is like the statistic is um brought down by a lot of children are like I want to do magic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because,
not a
like,
lot of it.
I feel like children end up looking at magic and they're like, I would like to do magic, and then you got like three pathways you can. Well, technically four pathways if you want to count artificer, magical
Artificer.
engineers count. But like, you either get kids that go into like magician magic and they become magicians, or you get kids that go into like wizard magic, like a bunch of nerds, and then just study all the time, or you get witches who do like the medicine. That's how it shakes out. So I feel like magicians do get kind of their average height pulled down by the sheer amount of
Yeah,
children that look at the ring trick and are like, hey, that could be me.
that could be me. What? Oh, hold on, hold on. Do you think there's like a path for children to go down as like I don't know. There's so many kinds of magic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do you think kids try to do real magic?
I mean, I feel like it depends on whether or not you see magic as like a force that can be harnessed or something innate. I think is
I
how that
think,
shakes out.
yeah. Well, I think it's like probably like 1 in 10 children are like, let me do the ring trick, and then they don't know how to do the ring trick, but they do it anyway, and it's like, whoa, he did real magic. They just like take two like regular ass metal rings and they're like dink, and they go into each other, and they're like, holy shit, I did it. Wait,
Yo,
I fused these two objects or phased them through one another somehow,
you've
and
done it.
then they get a letter from Hogwarts.
You've broken every sorcerer in D&D down to their bare essentials. It's just fuck ups leading to understanding of magical powers.
I mean, yeah, I
Imagine
mean,
that being your claim to fame, though. Like, you get into some prestigious wizard school and they're like, how'd you find out that you could do magic? And the kid's like, well, put these fucking rings together.
put these fucking rings together. Oh, cool. So, like, these are party trick rings, right? Nope. Just found them in my dad's garage, and I stuck them together. I can't get them undone though.
I can't get them undone, though.
So that's I'm here at the wizard school.
I can't get them undone, though. They sent me to wizard school to figure it out, bro. I can't get them undone.
I can't get them undone. My hand's stuck in between them, and I'm so
It's like a
sad.
Chinese finger trap, but with steel.
It's like you could just put the rings like here. Look, you could just put the rings like this, and you can take your hand out. And it's like, well, that defeats the purpose because now they're still fused together. My hand's
You know
out, but I can't get the rings undone.
they make hacksaws for that specific purpose.
Yeah, I
Is
saw
to
right
get
through my-
rings undone.
And it's like, well, I did it with magic, so I felt like I should undo it with magic.
That's why I'm at wizard school, is to undo these fucking rings.
These fucking rings, though.
Oh no.
Man, Harry Potter would have been a much different series if that had happened.
I feel like any magic universe would be a much different series if like kids could mess up their way into magic.
I mean, like, that's kind of like what Harry Potter did, because, like, Harry did the whole snake thing where he released a snake and talked to it.
Oh, the parcel tongue, yeah.
Yeah.
I
And,
mean,
yeah.
there's a ton of different ways to get magic, though. But, like, that's why I'm so curious about these guys, because a lot of this seems like it would be traditional borderline D&D magic, and I'd actually like to talk a little bit about that with the Dark Watchers, because
Oh, yeah?
they seemingly teleport, is the thing, is when you get close to them, they disappear.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if anybody here is familiar with the schools of magic. The 8 schools of magic,
I know
technically there's
one
one more.
is transmutation, one is like, I forget what it's called, but it's like destruction magic.
Yes.
It's like the Skyrim schools of magic. There's like illusion,
There is abjuration, which is to
abjuration.
protect things. Illusion, which makes things look like other things. Enchantment, which is like your standard buff debuff, it makes things do things.
Mm-hmm.
Divination, which allows you to predict the future. Evocation, which is your destruction magic.
Yeah, evocation, that's what it
Transmutation
is.
is your transmutation is your turn things into other things. Necromancy is either spare the dying or you could just like make him live again, kind of. Uh,
You're dead? Stop that.
Stop that.
Hey, you, stop that.
And the one that I want to talk about,
Hey,
which is
skeleton, stop that. I'm sorry.
well, it's either start that or stop that. It's like if the skeletons are on the ground and you really want to open a door, you can just be like, "Hey, help me out here," and they'll open the door.
Hey, you, skeleton, stop that. Stop being a skeleton.
Stop
Well,
being fucking dead, dude. Get back up. Let's go. We got things to
come,
do.
come on, dude. What are you
Help me
doing
out.
laying around for? We're going somewhere.
Lazy bones.
Get up, you fucking loser. Let's go.
Lazy
Get in the car. We're
bones.
going shopping.
Shop. Oh, necromancers, dude. Or there's the last one that we're about to talk about, which is conjuration, which is your portal magic. So
Ooh.
portals, and it makes stuff for free sometimes. So with these guys, the Dark Watchers, kind of fit a lot of the category, like fit a lot of the boxes for your very traditional wizard. They got the big hats, they got the sticks, they appear
They're
in the
tall.
distance, they're tall.
All good old wizards are tall and have big, luscious, beautiful, cool beards. But of course, you couldn't see that on the Dark Watchers because they're kind of a silhouette.
Yeah, they're just a silhouette kind of thing. But when you get close, they disappear very
Yeah, so
quickly and without a
couldn't
lot
see
of
those
warning.
beards.
And their eyes glow. So, like, I'm not saying
That's the
nonverbal
activation of magic.
casting,
Yeah.
but like nonverbal casting.
Nonverbal. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. Do
Because
you think
like
the key is to like get in behind them?
I don't know if you can get behind these guys though. Because like if you get
No.
close to, I imagine you could just make a big circle and see if you could get around him. But I feel
I'm
like if they
seeing like
see
they're
you
watching
moving,
somebody down in the like valley there, and you're just like on top of the mountain already. You're waiting, and then
are
they
you
pop
saying?
up. They're watching the dude, and you're coming in, and you got a knife, and you're like, rogue, rogue shit.
I mean, granted, if the Dark Watchers are wizards, they have in total 10 hit points, regardless of level.
Hold on, I gotta add a new class so I can fight
don't-
these cryptids.
I don't mean to dunk on wizards. I do, like, I'm a monk. Give me this, alright? I'm broken. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I play either a monk or fucking. I play either a monk or a druid, and I know that I'm every DM's worst nightmare.
In the only the only D&D campaign that I've done, I designed this character called Brad Chad,
Yeah.
and he's a stupid as all fuck Chad, and he's a barbarian, and I love him so much.
I love him.
Also, for some reason, I am cursed when it comes to like luck rolls or anything that involves chance, like flipping a coin. I always will lose it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, luck
Like
rolls. Like every single check you need to make in D&D ever. Yeah.
yeah, literally.
Those.
I'm so bad at that. So the thing has become Brad Chad does it bad, because I just do it bad every time.
Oh no!
Yeah. So
Brad Chad.
Chad does it bad. He's a um, it is like medieval fantasy, you know, but he is
Yeah.
still quote unquote a TikToker. I, I love this character very much.
Does he just have like a pocket watch that he stole off someone once on accident?
No, he does TikToks, but like in the town square, he reenacts them because he's I don't know, he has like innate knowledge of TikTok
Does
and
he
what
have
it is
to?
in the
Does he?
future.
Yeah. Does he plan to multi-class into Bard? Because I feel like if not, you're really missing out on like untapped potential.
We already have a bard in the party, so maybe I would like him to multiclass into bard.
Yeah,
Um,
you'd be a Barbarian. It'd be fine.
bard
Yeah.
variant, yeah. I mean, I think he's just so stupid, and I love him so much.
I really there's a soft spot in my heart for like any type of I DM. I'm a forever DM.
Yeah,
And yeah, I have been running D&D campaigns for like I think it's oh my god, at least 3 years at this point.
damn.
Oh,
Okay.
that's weird.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
I
I just got
really
into D&D like a year ago.
my laptop is stacked up on my monster manuals right now. Like I'm
Wow.
looking at them because I have a
Any Dark
I've
Watchers in there?
actually
Wait,
I
really?
wanted to talk about that.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this. So, the reason why I brought up the schools of magic and the reason why I brought up wizards is that I. Okay. When it comes to, like, the cryptids, a lot of times you see representations of them in other types of media, right? You
Yeah.
get things like the Ozark Howler appearing in lots of books and things. The Jersey Devil has 8 million like books and like poems and what have you, whatnot, you know?
And Squire Daniel saw him,
Squire Daniel did see him.
or
Uh,
Squire, whatever his name was. It's not Squire Daniel. Daniel's his brother.
Daniel's his, it's Squire and Daniel, his brother. Good
Squire and
lord,
less successful but more well-known brother Daniel.
Daniel.
Um,
So
yeah, go on. Sorry.
I no, you're good. Continue doing Squire and Daniel. But
Love them.
here's the thing: I brought up D&D and I brought up spellcasting and I brought up wizards because cryptids capture the imagination. You know, they fit
Yeah.
themselves into like elements of them fit really well into like monsters. So you get
Yeah.
things like the Dark Watcher, which looms from a far distance, teleports around, and just kind of looks. And for those of you who have played D&D for a long period of time, may know at least a little bit of like what I'm going for with this. It's a bit of a long shot in the fact that the only like the similarities you get between this and what I'm about to mention is that
Hey, even if it's a long shot, I'm betting that Long Hunter Squire could get it. I bet.
I bet he could.
Bet he could.
I bet he could. I don't think he could shoot this thing though.
Oh yeah.
I'm about to talk about the Displacer Beast.
The
Are you
Displacer
familiar?
Beast. No, what?
So
Tell me all about it.
D&D has this monster called the Displacer Beast,
Uh
right?
huh.
It is a okay, it's kind of scary. Borderline horrifying,
Uh-oh.
but it's fine. I'm throwing one at my party later. They don't know. Don't tell them. Shh. But
Wait, do they listen to this podcast?
shh, they do.
Oh. Uh-oh. Hey guys, you got something coming.
You got something coming. But I was doing research for both of these at the same time because when I do my research, I do it in a big chunk. And I was like, hey, this reminds me of the Dark Watcher because a Displacer Beast is a large, like dark colored creature. Its eyes will glow. It's panther or puma like with 6 legs. It's 9 feet long, weighs like 500 pounds, massive.
Oh no.
But they can go up to twice this size.
Oh boy.
So there's a large size variation. They're dark in coloration, their eyes glow, and they have their innate magic to bend light, making them to appear to be a foot or two away from their actual position. Which reminds me of the Dark Watchers, because when they approach, they tend to disappear. So I'm thinking, I'm not saying fey creature,
But maybe.
but the
Maybe.
magic seems real similar.
Yeah, it kind of does, huh?
Yeah, they live in small groups or prefer to be alone. And they do just disappear when people get real close. These guys, Displacer Beasts, are hostile, and the Dark Watchers are not hostile.
Yes.
But it does remind me of it. Because both of them appear at dusk or dawn.
Yeah.
Crepuscular. Uh, they appear in like mountainous areas, usually like backdropped by either like largely flat surfaces, you know, because displacer beasts are forest creatures, and these guys appear up on the mountains, but there's a little forest just below that, and they do just disappear when you get close, you know, and the eyes glow. It really does remind me.
That
A lot of
actually really
similarities there.
kind of does. There's are a lot of similarities there. That
Yeah.
does remind me that I did want to really talk about the place that these guys are seen. The Santa
Yeah.
Lucia range, like mountain range, right?
Mm-hmm. California.
California.
California, baby. There's a website I
Cali.
looked. First off, California may as well just be the fucking Feywild of the US. Allow me for this. If you've ever been to California or Texas,
Yeah.
it's like a whole different ball game. I'm like 90% sure California's a fever dream. I
Yeah.
know I live in the Midwest and like I don't get a lot to say on this because the area I live is mostly corn, but
But like
California's a weird.
I honestly think that's something that has really inspired a lot of these like cryptids and why it's so kind of like maybe we don't know everything that's out there because the US like compared to every other country like think about literally every other country except for like Canada maybe you know like and maybe Brazil with all the Amazon but like literally it's such a big place like you go to like London and everyone's like oh it's so far like it's a 2 hour drive to get anywhere and it's like okay I drive 8 hours to get to school like what you know like yeah it's like it's crazy dude it's like the US is so big and especially California and Texas are just like huge states you know like
Yeah.
there's so much there's so much place for there to be like literally anything could be there you know like there's
There's
just
so much place to have the same name, you know?
yeah
Like, it's a big area and it's all called California, or like, so like anything that happens in there, the larger area you've got, the more space there is for weird things to exist. So the
yeah
fact that California is so big means its weird per square foot ratio is
weird for
higher
square
than I feel like it should be.
yes
And the
same
only
with like
reason,
Alaska
yeah,
we talked about last week like Alaska is where the Tizaruk is I'm sure there's other cryptids and stuff up there like there are so many it's such a big space and there's so much that's there and like it's impossible for us to know everything like all the
yeah,
time like yeah there's been sightings but like how much more is there like
yeah, because like the ocean, we've pulled a whole bunch of creatures from the ocean. The ocean's weird per square foot ratio is
it's so much
bonkers
yeah
high.
there's so much square footage in the ocean
So much weird. So like this website, which I did pull some of my research from, is Weird California, and it talks about the Dark Watchers kind of existing on the Santa Lucia Mountain,
mm.
and you can kind of see them from the beach, a Villa Beach,
Oh
and
whoa
you can kind of look up, and the beings usually aren't. They either look at you and you get the eye glow thing, or they're just staring off into the open air of the mountains and then just vanish into thin air
yeah
without being approached. So if you don't approach them, they will just vibe out and then eventually disappear.
yeah
But they are mentioned in a lot of poems because of this behavior, because, like, John Steinbeck described them in his short story Flight. Uh, there's a poet, Robinson Jeffers, that you can see them, and a large, like, overarching theme on these is they look human, but they're not. But it won't tell you why they're not human. It just says that they're not with, like, confidence. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So, the description that I got of these guys is they generally look like people, but they're 7 to 15 feet tall with cool hats and sticks.
Cool
But
hats and
then
sticks. Very important.
it said
Nothing if not
sticks or
fashionable.
staves.
Sticks or staves?
Staves.
Like the
And
building
then
thing?
yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
A stave is like a storage. That's like a building. And it's mentioned that they use those as like walking sticks.
Mm-hmm.
And a walking stick is supposed to be roughly your height, if not a little shorter, I think, is usually how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
But, and then more recent sightings include a cape in the description, which, first off, sick as hell.
Yeah, dude. I keep talking about how capes should be brought back into like popular fashion. Like, I'm sure I've talked to you about this. I've
Yes.
ranted my girlfriend's ear off about this. Like, capes are so cool. Actually, my girlfriend wears a lot of capes, and I'm jealous that I don't have that wardrobe.
Yeah.
I got to wear a cape to Renfest last year, and it was so much fun.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you know what's really cool that people overlook? Capelets.
Capelets, yeah.
Yeah, I have a capelet, and I really like it.
Yeah. I think they should be brought back into popular fashion. Like, next time I wear a suit, I'm wearing a cape with it. Like, just
So,
the dramatic flair is so important, you know?
yeah, absolutely. Again, these guys are nothing if not fashionable.
Nothing.
So,
fashionable. Yeah.
they are just on the
Maybe
absolute...
they are nothing, just fashionable. Like,
just fashion.
like there's so much that, like, maybe they're, like, illusions or something like that, that, like, or like, kind of, like
It's just the
projections
raw
or
power
something.
of their...
And
Yeah.
they're just, like, something like that, but with just super fashionable.
Yeah. It's just the raw power of their fashion that allows them to project.
Yeah.
You know?
But I don't think they can be projections because their eyes glow and they have like
Okay.
mass that's like visible. You know what I mean?
Well, I do want to talk about this though, because illusion, I'm so sorry. Illusions, hallucinations, or misinterpretation, good lord, of natural stimulus, this is brought upon by exhaustion or like isolation, is a thing.
Yeah.
Because like
For sure. In a
there's
mountain
things like
range, you're definitely gonna hit that. You know, like
yeah.
That's why I wanted to talk about the geography a little bit, was because it's
because it is in the mountains, so I do have to talk about infrasound, of course, which is it's generated by the wind and kind of like causes feelings of uneasiness and anxiety, and is usually linked to like paranormal sightings.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the creeps that you get when you go through a house that has a lot of like broken things, so that the wind runs through them and you get that sort of anxiety frequency.
Sid, I've been in some places that have given me that.
Yeah. It's got the heebie-jeebies.
I was doing a hike in Maine, in the Allagash Wilderness, which is really, really up north in Maine, and it's like a really like isolated area. And while we were doing this hike up this mountain, we found like what we thought was an abandoned ranger station, right?
Yeah.
Like, it was like this small house. Like, there clearly was like a bed frame that was broken. There were like two items of furniture in there. There was like a nightstand and a bed frame, but the nightstand was not in the bedroom. And the nightstand was like weirdly like intact. We like saw this place and it looked like it'd been burned and then crushed by something, like maybe a fallen tree, but there was no debris in it. You know what I mean? Like, there was no, like, it looked like it had been crushed. We left that place. It was like literally a third into the hike on the way up this mountain. And then we came down and we were like, I kind of want to see that place again. And everyone was like, yeah. It was kind of a cool thing to experience. And we went back to where we went on the same offshoot of the trail, and it wasn't there.
Just gone?
It was gone. like, you know how you can tell like the foundation of something was there? Like
Yeah.
there were concrete blocks where the foundation was, like where we remembered this house being. I walked up the front steps of this fucking little house. And when I came
Yeah.
back, the steps weren't there, the house wasn't there, just the foundations and some burned pieces of wood. I don't know what that was. Like, um, anyway, sorry. Like that kind of like heebie-jeebie kind of thing. Like maybe that was hallucination. There were four of us that saw it. Like maybe,
You can get
maybe.
group hallucinations due to exhaustion or isolation, and isolation in groups does technically count because if it's just you guys, then that might shake out. But things like that are always so fascinating to me. Uh, for those of you who don't know, I study neuroscience
Uh huh.
in college because I go to college. So we do the chemical bits of it. There are frequencies that you can like produce based on the wind and things like that, or just like emit through computer means that will just cause your brain to generate chemicals that will
Mm,
make you anxious and
yeah.
like cause you to see things. And it's really, really fascinating.
Yeah.
It is so cool. But like, so that's definitely a big theory. Because if I can't tell you, I don't even know what to say about the house. I don't
Yeah.
know if
I
that's an illusion or not.
like
Shit.
maybe we went back to the wrong place and there just happened to be another foundation there of another like ranger station or something that was there. Like
Yeah.
maybe we went back to the wrong place. Like that's what I keep thinking is like we just went to the wrong place, but like at the same time like we
Even
followed
so,
the
it's a
same
weird
trail
feeling.
markers or so we thought, like we thought we were going back to the right place, but maybe we didn't. I don't know. I
The
never
woods are
saw that
weird,
house again.
man. Woods are weird.
Yeah. The woods are weird.
The woods are weird.
The woods and mountain ranges and stuff like that. It's just ooh. There's
Yeah.
so many heebie-jeebies you get. Like
Tons of heebie jeebies because there's just a whole bunch of nature. And nature, as everyone knows, wants you whacked. So.
That's true. That's true.
It does.
I feel like we've gone a little bit without talking about the Dark Watchers though, and I do want to rope back around to that. We got my
I
weird story out of the way.
actually would love to talk about the Brockton Spectre, which is the plausible explanation for this. So, back to nature is weird and also wants you whacked,
Okay.
is the Brockton Spectre, which is also known as the Mountain Spectre, and it can occur in certain atmospheric conditions when the sun angles like in a particular way so the light reflects, which means that if somebody's up on the mountain, the shadow will be cast onto the cloud bank around them, creating an illusion of a large, shadowy humanoid figure. Now, have you been to Pikes Peak?
I've not been to Pikes Peak.
Okay, Pikes Peak. I am just checking this really quick. Pikes Peak, I think, has an illusion where it will either, I think it might appear purple due to something similar to the Brockton Spectre. But, like, big mountains will have that effect where the kind of light will, like, they're just so big that the light will either reflect off the top of them or against them or, like, onto the clouds around them and create, like, a ton of different cool, like, tricks and, like, illusions and things like that. So people are like, oh, like, the Dark Watchers appear because of this Brockton Spectre phenomenon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's the thing, though. In order for that to occur, that means somebody has to be up there.
Yeah.
And that makes me wonder if there is someone up there, like, they'd have to be all roughly wearing the same thing, and the glowing eyes would be sort of an interesting effect.
Yeah,
Kind of.
that would be interesting to do on a projection.
Yeah.
Like that is something that really kind of like that's why it really feels like I don't know. The glowing eyes is what gets me about it. It's like how why would you do that with projection? Like just to make these kind of strange creatures appear?
Oh, no, it's like somebody stands up there and the light reflects against them, and so it projects onto the cloud bank around them, which makes them look bigger. So a person up there isn't going to know that they're the subject of the specter, but the people down below are going to see this and be like, something's fucking up there.
But like
That's
for them to all be wearing the same like the hat, the cape, the big stick,
the hat, the cape, the stick. Yeah.
That's the thing is like it's a mountain range, so like you would expect to see people wearing like hiking attire, like not necessarily a stick, but maybe like like kind of ski pole looking walking sticks.
Yeah, a walking stick would track, and the hat would track,
A
and the
hat
capes,
doesn't,
even to a certain
yeah,
extent, might track.
might,
But
but like
my main thing is, if these are so common, they've been appearing like since a very, very long time, even before climbing the mountain range was like something people did very
yeah,
commonly. Because it's a pretty big mountain range, and I'm sure people got up there, but like you're being up at a mountain range at night.
yeah, like you said earlier, like way early in this podcast, that like Spanish explorers saw them. And like I know for a
Yes.
fact that like when explorations like that were happening, they would avoid like going on top of like mountains like that because it's a lot of effort to hike directly over a mountain. Like the views are
Yeah.
great, but it's a lot of effort to like hike directly over a mountain. It's a lot of effort um, to like you're exposed. It's dangerous to be up there, so like a lot of explorers wouldn't put themselves in that kind of risk. You know.
Yeah. Plus, if you're up at a mountain at night,
Hmm.
that's predator territory, my dude. Like you're gonna get crunched.
Hmm.
It's not safe to go up and climb a mountain at night due to the
Especially in
elevation.
California, there's bears.
Yeah,
There's bears.
there's bears everywhere.
There's bears. There's mountain
Bears,
lions
mountain lions.
for sure.
So like,
Not to mention like the weather elements of being on top of a mountain are like much worse.
yeah,
Like why would you be up there at dawn and like why?
the
Especially
times
if
when it's
you're
like the least opportune to be up on a mountain.
yeah.
Get down from there, Dark Watchers. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Hey, I know
What are you
you're like
doing?
these teleporting beings, but hey, it's dangerous up there. It's scary up there.
That's probably why they're wearing a cape, is to protect them from the elements.
Probably. They probably were like capes fashionable. And then they did that.
Yeah. Capes, also great for hiding from rain and cold.
Yeah, actually pretty good about that. And super
Yeah.
fashionable.
Super fashionable. Love
Super
capes.
fashionable. Love capes. I wear a cape. I want a cape. I will make a cape.
I feel like at some point we will just get you a cape.
Okay.
Do you want a cape?
I
We can
would
get you
love
one.
a cape.
We can get you one. We'll get you one.
I kind of want.
Do you want like?
I kind of want like
Yeah.
a couple capes to like have a cape. Like that's kind of like my ultimate goal, right? Is to have like a suit that's like coordinated. Like I want to have a cape that matches my tie. That's my goal.
You want a cape collection, if you will.
Yeah,
A collection of capes.
a collection of capes, of course. Yeah,
Cape
to
collection.
match my
Yeah.
collection of. Hold on, let me count real quick.
Are you counting your ties or your suits?
Ties. I have 26 ties.
That's a lot of ties,
Yeah,
dude.
well, a lot of them have been gifts.
Ah, yes.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, like capes to match my ties would be amazing.
I
They're
usually
all
match
like, like some of them are similar colors, so I wouldn't need that much variety. I probably wouldn't need 26 capes. But, like a selection of like 8 to 10.
Yeah. I mean, I think that would be great. You could just get 8 to 10 capes.
Do you think the Dark
Be part of the-
Watchers have collections of capes?
They might. It's hard to tell though, because they all
They
tend to
all
appear in like a
do,
shadowy,
yeah, like kind of,
incorporeal form.
yeah, black. Probably all just black ones.
Yeah. I mean, though, like, black goes with everything,
It does.
to be fair.
It does. But the suits usually black. You can get some cool suits out there, but
It's hard to find cool suit colors, though, for me at least.
yeah.
It's like I go out and I look, and they have you either get black, you get brown, or you get gray.
Mm-hmm.
Though usually you don't even get brown, you get like a beige.
You get like navy
Yeah,
blue.
you can get navy. But that's like 4 colors. All I want is like, how hard is it to find a neon orange suit? How hard is it?
Pretty hard.
Very hard.
Very hard.
And I'm like, I'm sure it's for good reason that there's a very specific population that would own a neon orange suit. I am that specific population. Where is my neon orange suit? Who sells them?
I don't even want like, you know, I kind of want like kind of like a navy blue vibe, but I want it to be like purple. That's what I want.
Yeah,
That's what I want.
I have.
Like,
I have a navy blue suit.
yeah, I have I have
Like,
a navy suit. I have a black suit. I have a gray suit. But I
I think I have a tweed sport coat
oh.
that I very much enjoy. Everyone else around me hates it, but I love it, and they can't stop me.
Yeah, that's one of the things is I really like. I've stopped wearing suit jackets a lot with suit stuff, because like honestly, like a good bomber jacket or like something like that is just I don't know. You know, I'm nothing
Yeah,
if not fashionable.
nothing if not fashionable. I don't consider myself a fashionable person, so I rely on like staples, I guess.
Yeah,
And with suits, I can always trust that they're gonna fit well because I tailor my stuff.
I
So
am a fashionable person. I say while wearing a neon pink Golden Girls shirt that I bought at
hell yeah,
Walmart.
hell yeah, dude. I got a button down and like gray jeans because I've given up today.
Yeah. Still a
I
little
mean,
better. Still a little better than
if
me. I'm wearing the neon pink shirt and sweatpants.
yo, if we had recorded like 20 minutes or so ago, I probably would have just shown up in pajamas.
Oh, I feel that.
The world cannot stop me. That's the thing though, because like I imagine wherever the Dark Watchers go to get their incredibly fashionable attire, it has to be custom.
It has to be.
Because like
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say.
have to get custom, and I'm not a tall human being, but like I get my stuff custom.
Oh, they're
so, like,
very tall.
they're tall, so they gotta go like the big and tall section at Target can only go so far.
I don't
you know?
think it goes to 15 feet. I don't think so.
I really don't. Yeah.
I mean,
Do
where are
you
you
think,
gonna get
like-
a 15-foot cape?
Where are you gonna? So you can't even order that at Joann's. Like if
Can't?
you go to Joann's and you ask for 15 yards of fabric, they're gonna ask you politely to leave. Uh. Well, I mean,
Well,
you could
Only
buy a
5
whole
yards of
ream.
fabric.
Yeah,
Because
but
a
like
yard is 3 feet,
I'm
as
assuming
we
they want like
established earlier in the episode.
3 feet. But like, I'm saying 15 yards of fabric because if you're making a cape, you have to account for like not just the length, but like the fact that it has to go all the way around the body.
Yeah, the width as well. Yeah.
The width, yeah.
true.
And that's gonna be a lot of fabric to go all the way around them to keep them warm in that like mountainous kind of condition.
Yeah.
You know, you want a thick cape.
I mean, it is also California and Southern California, so I don't.
Yeah.
I think like cape doesn't need to be like super warm, which is like,
But, like-
why do you need a cape then?
If it's up on the mountains by the sea in like a deserty kind of area,
No, that's kind of true.
I
I don't know.
part of me is like I don't know because I go to California and like existing in California makes me sweat at any given time.
Yeah.
My preferred temperature is like 40 degrees.
Yeah. Yep. My apartment. People complain when they come in and visit. They're like, "It's cold in here," and I'm like, "Yeah. Well, first of all, I live in Vermont, and second of all, I keep the heat at 55 degrees."
Yeah.
It
I don't
doesn't
keep
get
my
much hotter
aircon.
than that.
Yeah. Like I don't put my air conditioning on when like I won't blast the air conditioning because I am at least a little bit of a dad at heart as far as the fact that I don't want to spend money
Yep.
to have my aircon up,
Yeah.
but I will sometimes just not turn the heater on in the winter because I'm like I don't need it. You know, it's nice and cold outside. That's great. That's my ideal sleeping temperature. Is just freezing.
I know. I know. My bed looks like something out of Game of Thrones. I've got a giant, like, it's not actual fur, but it's like a fur blanket, and it weighs like
That's the dream though.
it weighs like 20 pounds. It's just this huge fur blanket.
I have a weighted blanket that I put inside a duvet cover, which honestly is kind of a life hack.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it looks
So
nice
I got, like,
too.
Yeah, I got like a cheaper duvet cover from IKEA that fit my weighted blanket. And
That's so
I
smart.
put the weighted blanket into the duvet cover and like kind of did a few basic stitches to like keep it in place.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, my weighted blanket weighs like 15 pounds, and it's got that glass bead sort of filling, so it'll keep you
Ooh.
super warm. It's great.
That's exactly what you want. Yeah, sorry. We were talking about the these guys, and I still want to know so much about them. Um,
Well, here's the thing. Now would be the point in time where I'd like to get into the sightings. But
yes,
so
I
many
was
people have seen
just
these
about to
things
ask.
that there's like a message board for it.
A message board.
Uh,
Let's go.
yeah,
Let's go there.
it's on the actual Weird California site, and they kind of have it a little bit below in this area for the comments. And a ton of people are saying like, "Oh, we were driving, we saw like figures in the hills, you know."
Mm-hmm.
And so there's one that I'm going to get into from Stockton, California, from like 2018, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It said they were driving from Arroyo Grande to Stockton, and about an hour outside of AG, they saw a dark human figure in the hills. It was several hundred yards away from the road and seemed to be trudging laboriously uphill in the 95-degree sun. They could distinguish no identifying marks, no seams of clothing, no shoes, just solid black walking up the hill in the burning afternoon sun.
Hmm.
And this is like they were hiking up a remote trail. This is another one from Ojai. Hiking up a remote trail in Ojai, an hour up the mountain, no people, no cars. They had this eerie feeling that they were being watched. They looked at the top of the mountain and saw a black figure. They waved to the figure, and it waved back.
Okay, I got chills. Like seeing like, imagine seeing like a 15-foot like figure in the distance. Like that's one of the things is these people are seeing them on the top of the mountain from like typically like the road or the bottom of the mountain. Like to be visible with how high these mountains are. Like hold up. Let me just like pull up like some heights of some of these mountains.
Yeah, go for it.
Like like yeah, like literally like a mile high is
Yeah.
like average here. Like about
It's
like
not.
just under a mile or about a mile. One of them is
Yeah.
4,420 feet. Nice. Um,
Nice.
but yeah, these mountains are like a mile high. So to be able to see a figure on these mountains is they gotta be huge, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's
They have to
crazy
be real big.
to see them from.
That's a. Yeah. Absolutely. They have to be really big. And
And it waves
this person
back.
actually goes on. It does wave back. Which is actually kind of cute if you think about it. You go up and you're like, hello, mountain creature. And the mountain creature's like, hello. And then just disappears. Like, that seems fairly innocuous.
It does. It does.
They do seem kind of nice.
Yeah, they seem nice, and maybe I won't fight them just because they're nice. But
They do seem really sweet.
you know, if push came to shove,
Please don't. Really don't want to have you get in trouble for, like, just throwing hands with some 15-foot high shadow creature that we're not sure what it is. You don't even know if you can hit that thing. If it's a shadow creature, your fists are just gonna go right through.
maybe
If they can teleport, your knives aren't gonna do anything if it's already gone.
that's true. That's unfortunate. But it's got a
Like,
big stick, like a real big stick.
A real big stick. Walk softly and carry a big stick, or don't walk at all. Teleport and also carry a real big stick.
A couple of these things, I'm looking at the message board now. A couple of them mention that like no one could see it except me. So that's like one of the things that really like kind of I do not know. Like
It kind of dunks on the fact of it being an illusion a little bit.
yeah, exactly.
As far as, because if an illusion does imply that multiple people can see it,
yeah,
and if only one person can see it, either it's an I don't really know if that counts as an illusion, because even if they stood in the same place you were standing, they should still be able to see it.
yeah, exactly.
But if not, then it does draw some question into maybe it not being an illusion. and it being an actual physical thing that just decides that it wants you to see it.
Yeah.
Today, hello.
Because like they're watchers. So like they're like one of the thing is like they're very passive, right? They're watching,
Yes.
and like if they're selective about who can see them, like I don't know. That seems like there's some motive that kind of goes beyond just being a watcher.
Well, like, if anything is watching, it always draws the question, what is it watching? And why is it watching?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
You
talking
know?
about. Is there's some kind of motive.
There has to be a reason that they are watching. Because,
Yeah.
like, anything that observes is observing for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Either to learn or to, like, usually to learn. But it always makes me wonder if it's like preparing to engage. But if they haven't engaged yet, you can kind of hope that they won't, and they're probably just a species of something living in the mountains, looking down at humans and being like, "Damn, idiots," and keeping to themselves.
Yeah.
Or they could be judges, judging on our fashion from the mountains,
Maybe.
just kind of looking down and being like, "Wow, these guys don't have capes yet.
Yeah.
What a bunch of
Why did
lames,
these idiots throw away capes? They're so fashionable and functioning. Like, functioning fashion
Capes?
is important.
Great. Functional fashion is important. You know what else is important? Not messing with the night. Like, don't mess with them. Leave them alone.
Yeah. The more I think about it, like, they're just watching.
They're just watching.
Big Brother vibes.
They're just observing. They got good vibes.
Oh, I was saying Big Brother vibes, which is not good vibes.
Oh. I mean, like, it's only Big Brother vibes if they're giving the information to a larger entity, and if it's just them
What if they
observing
are,
us and, like,
Sid?
dunking on our fashion,
What if they are?
that's okay. Like, the worst it can be is, like, maybe aliens. And, like, if it were aliens, I'm cool with that. Like,
What if it's like
oh my God.
a larger, scarier cryptid?
A larger, scarier cryptid?
Yeah.
You're saying that the Dark Watchers are like hired goons for a larger, scarier cryptid? A larger, scarier watcher?
But like what like you know there's that whole thing with like the oh God, what is it? There's like these like the men in black, you know? It's
Yeah.
like a thing that like people report seeing the men in black and they're watching. And like they're kind of these like informants of something. You know, like that's what everyone kind of sees them as. So I don't know. Maybe they're informants. Maybe.
They could be informants.
But I think that's
they also could just be hanging out.
yeah.
You know?
Maybe they are just hanging out. But I think that is something we can explore at a later date, as it is time to wrap this episode up. Fantastically.
Yeah.
This was such an interesting topic, and I'm really glad we got to explore it.
It was a lot of fun. Thanks for recommending this.
Yeah, I
man.
know. I was super interested in it, and I feel like I learned a lot here, and joked a lot here. But
I mean, that's what we're here for. Hey, if you guys are interested in maybe recommending a cryptid or conversing with us about previous cryptids we recommend, we have a Twitter. It is Cryptids on Cryptids at On Cryptids.
On Cryptids on Twitter. Go follow us there for updates on the show. We talk about when we are recording. Sometimes we tweet stuff out. When we are publishing the episode, we tweet stuff out. And when we go live on Twitch, we tweet stuff out. Because
we do go live on Twitch every.
We have a Thursday stream where we are there to answer your questions, chat with you guys. If you guys want some info or you just want to hang out, it's a great place to do that. So every Thursday from 8 to 10 Eastern Standard Time.
And we answer questions.
Yeah, we play Minecraft and answer questions. That's kind of it's a chill vibe. It's a lot of fun. We had a bunch of people come out and chat last week, and it was so fun to talk to you guys. So
We always really appreciate getting the chance to interact with you
Yeah.
guys because we really do appreciate your continued support.
We really
I also do have some quick
Uh-huh.
concerns for the people from last week in our chat. That cube cult. Hey, what was
yeah,
that?
first the orb, now the cubes. Hey guys, chill with the
Come
cube
join us.
cult.
Come join us next week for whatever geometric shape they decide to make a cult of. We love and support our chat
Love
and their
support you
hobbies,
and all your shape interests.
shape endeavors,
But yeah, you can find us there,
whatever
and
shape
you
you
can find
take.
us on Instagram at MYD period podcasts, I believe, is what we are on Instagram. I'm gonna go double check that right now because
Yeah.
Ooh, do I not know?
But we really do
I was
appreciate
right.
your
I
guys'
did know.
continued support.
We're so glad to see you guys come out and chat and talk with us.
Yeah.
It's a
Come
lot
by
of fun.
on Twitch.
Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. You'll get all the updates on when the show goes live, and we should be posting some Twitch highlights if you can't make the stream. So so come in, join us, see what's going on, and hang out. Yeah, it's a blast every week.
Join the shape cults. We appreciate it. Accidental shape cults.
But until then,
we'll see y'all in the woods.